Okay, I think it's working. Hi, I'm Amy the Potter. I'm trying to see if you can see what I see. Can you see what I see? Oopsie. Okay, well, I hope that you can. Today I'm trimming my serving bowls that I made yesterday, flipped over this morning, and I just got this new adhesive thing. I'm so happy I'm using it. It was kind of tricky to get it onto the bat because you have to kind of set it, spin it, and make sure it's centered, but I got it pretty close. Let's check it. Yeah, if I hold my finger in one place, it moves a little bit, but that's okay because you'll see when I trim my bowls, I don't need the pot to be centered in order to trim a centered foot on it. These are the main tools I use when I trim. I have this trimming rib, and the way that I hold it is like this, which is could be like a weapon because if I dropped it, it would go flinging, and it's very sharp, especially when they're new, which this one is new. And so I use this edge right here to cut into the bowl. So I like to trim my pots when they're quite dry, not bone dry, but on the dry side of leather hard. And then I have a couple of trimming tools. I like this ribbon shape. Uh-oh, is it telling me to go? Do I need to turn it the other way? Do I need to turn it the other way? Am I sideways? I don't know what happened. Something just happened. Anyway, somebody tell me if I need to turn it the other way. Here's the trimming tool I like to use. It has these two ends. And then I have a sanding stick here, a couple of them, just in case. Well, I need one. But one of these is an aluminum nail. I think they're so cool. I don't know how it got into my pottery stuff, but here it is. And a funny little wooden stick. Okay, anyway, here we go. Now, funny thing about my wheel is that I need to adjust the foot pedal, so I have to always keep my foot on it, otherwise it goes, all of a sudden it drops and the wheel goes to top speed. Another thing about these bowls is that I threw them, some of them are so thin at the bottom that there's a good chance I'll cut through some, but let's knock on wood and say I don't want to. All right. So let's see, is the wheel on? Yes. The first thing I'm going to do is get this basically centered here. And then this has a little bit of a hump, so I'm going to just start off and see if I can flatten that out and take that away. People who are watching, I can barely see, but if you have questions or if you can't see, I can't totally see what you can see. If I could adjust things and make it better, if there's any kind of terrible noise, just let me know. Okay, and then I'm going to do this too, so everything's kind of all cleaned up to start. Can you see? Can you see? Yes, you can see that. That's great. Then I'm going to cut straight down with this edge of the tool. I'm going to cut straight down, and I use my finger here as a guide. So my hand's running on the pot. That's an important piece of how I trim. My hand's running on the pot, and it becomes the guide. My hand becomes the guide for the tool. So you might see people trim sometimes, and they're holding a tool kind of like this, and they're making their bodies stable, and the pot's running around. That's not how I trim. This is a great trick I learned, is that if you have your hand on the pot, then even if the pot's off center, which I can show you, I'll put it off center on purpose. This is a big exaggeration, but I can keep going around and I can keep trimming the pot, a centered foot on an uncentered pot. So, but it's easier and feels nicer to do it when it's centered. So I'll bring it back. Now I'm going to turn it like this into that shape and exhale. And just gently take that off. I'm feeling for any little, anything that feels inconsistent, because the feet are, I didn't leave very much clay to trim down here. So if it starts kind of wobbling at all, that might be telling me that it's getting too thin. So I have to be kind of ginger about this. I don't want to lose a bowl. It's my goal to not lose a bowl. Sometimes I tell people every pot that makes it through the entire process is a little bit of a miracle. Because there's so many points where you could mess it up. So many times when things can go wrong. And sometimes do. Okay. Oh, like right now, I just hit that point where this is thin. So I just felt it. So I'm just going to kind of clean it up and stop touching it. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the point of that tool, run my hand on the pot, and cut the outline of the foot, the profile of the foot. Now I can see how deep that is, so I know that there's going to be a relationship between how deep I cut this and how deep I cut this. Okay, now sometimes right now I'm going to use this tool because I know that they're kind of thin. If they weren't so thin, I would use my rib to cut this part. But because I know that they're thin, especially I can feel this one is one of the thin ones. I'm barely touching the middle because that's where it's the thinnest. Flip the tool around a little bit, play with it. You can go from the in to the, I'm going from the in to the out now because I know that I can even feel it now. It's the most sensitive part. So what I'm going to have to do is go to the inside of the bowl and push it into the perfect shape and then clean it up on the outside. Okay, here I want to do a little teaching about this. The actual foot, if you do a foot like I do, it's kind of nice to do it with an angle here. So it's not a flat bottom foot, but an angled foot. And that will give you the least amount of contact with the kiln shelf, which will then probably give you the least amount of cleaning up at the end. It also is kind of a nicer form, I think, than to have like a foot that's flat and square like that. Okay, and this is where I felt it getting real thin before. And go back with my tool and just gently clean that up. Okay. I think we may have survived here. Every once in a while, you'll get the whole thing trimmed, and then all of a sudden you sign it, and the whole thing, the signing stick just goes right through it. Yeah, I can feel that this is pretty thin, and so let's see here. This is where I'm going to kind of use my fingers to push it back into shape, and the rib will also kind of push it back into shape a little bit. This isn't trimming, it's just creating the shape on the inside. And it does get off a little layer, but I'm not really trimming the inside there. Okay, and then I use this moment when I've got the pot here in my hands to take care of my future self and clean the pot up so I won't have to do that later. So just looking for anything that might want cleaning. Any schmutz is the technical term. Schmutz, looking for schmutz. Cleaning it up. Okay. And then signing it. And I'll sign this one closer to the outside because I know what's going on with this pot. And I sign, my name, and I put the date, 22. And now I just want to make sure that this profile actually clears. I don't want a roly bowl. I'd rather have it the other direction. So just making sure. I'll do it. Oh, I left the foot pedal there. Okay, that one's great. I'm going to put it on the top. I'm going to let it dry right side up so that foot is stable. Okay, and then next. So I'll be here for a while trimming. Feel free to stay. Feel free to ask questions. I see that Michelle is here or might have been here. And some other people whose names I can't read because because of some phone problems I have and other problems too. Anyway, it's been really fun. It's been so fun to get feedback from people. I don't think I'm gonna I won't talk about my process again unless people ask. These videos wind up getting uploaded to YouTube, and that's my podcast. Let me get this out of the way, this notification. And so you can always go back on my Facebook page or on YouTube and watch it if you're interested in the process and don't want to ask a question right now. I will talk about things as they come up, but you know, how many times can you say the same exact thing about how you trim a bowl? Now it's just about being. Can you see that? Yeah. Yeah. This is my clay catcher. Normally I would use the lid of an apple box just because that's what I learned to use first, but I didn't have one, so I have this huge, huge trimming box, which is great. This box can take a whole lot more trimmings, and these guys will all get recycled. If anybody's ever interested in coming in and being a part of the podcast, riffing with me, talking about any topic, pottery related or not. I like to talk about all kinds of things. Let me know and I'll see if we can get that scheduled, or I could even just bring you on live right now. If you're one of those people, I got Carlita and my friend Alex from Greece, both future guests on my podcast. Neither of them is a potter, but they're both excellent conversationalists and very interesting. So those will be fun. Pottery is cool because, well, it's cool for a lot of reasons, but one of them is that once you know what you're doing, you don't have to think about it anymore. And so you're just doing it, and you can think about other things. You can talk about other things. You can listen to podcasts. So all kinds of cool conversations transpire in pottery studios. You can listen to music. Probably write a whole book sitting at the wheel. See, this one's nice and soft. So as soon as you get that little bit of soft, you're done. We're done. Trying this one with my aluminum guy. Aluminum nail. I don't know what you'd ever use this thing for, other than a perfect signing stick. This one feels nice. So sometimes they just get a little bit warped from the trimming process, and so I always like to turn it back over and kind of fix the shape from the inside, because the inside of the bowl is what you're really going to be looking at and working with all the time. They should be the same, the inside and the outside, if the walls are even. Okay. And this one's got plenty of clearance, I think. So I will, oops. I'm so nervous about cutting through these. Okay, that looks good. I can dry it upside down. To dry it upside down, I'll just put a bat on the rim and flip it over. My pedal is staying. It's behaving for the podcast. Let me check and see if there's any questions. I don't see anything. Are people shy to comment, or do you just not have anything to say? Because I realize this about my posts, is that I don't get a lot of comments. And I don't know why. I'm wondering if you can see that. Will somebody let me know if you can't see very well? Still no comments that I can see. I'm still not quite dry enough to trim that part with the rib. You're less likely to cut through with a rib than you are with a trimming tool, but with a trimming tool, it can be a little more sensitive. After these, I'm going to throw something called a rolled rim bowl. So I've been watching YouTube videos on people who throw rolled rims. One time I was at a pottery show and I saw these bowls and they were super lightweight, but they had these fatty rims. And it's just this wonderful surprise to pick up a really light bowl that has such a big fat rim. What they do is they just thin the rim out and roll it over so it looks really thick, but it's not. And I have always wanted to make those, and I'm in a phase of making the things I've always wanted to make. So I'm maintaining my old forms and still making some of those, but also adding new stuff that really inspires me. Back with the old and in with the new. Okay, so that's a little bit soft, so we can just finish this up. Call it good. Just feeling for any schmutz out there. Sign it. Clean it up inside. Get the shape. And then the final little cleanup stuff. Oops. Here's what the foot looks like on the inside. The rim on and flip it. I'm checking for, just in case there's questions or comments. Maybe you could tell me where you're from. If you're a potter, if this is the first time you're ever seeing me doing this, what you think about the concept of a podcast. How's that for 5 questions? I'm in a coaching program right now, and I think one of the things we learned was, I think I learned, just ask one question, just one question. But I don't really know who my audience is, so happy to learn about you if you want to talk about yourself. I talk about myself a lot. One thing I could do that would be an extra step, but would help me and probably would help people who are more beginner potters, is to just check out the pot before you trim it. Really take a look at the inside, feel the weight, think for a second about how much you'll have to trim, what the bowl shape would look like. These are all pretty much the same, so, but every once in a while there's one that has a little extra weight or it's a little extra thin, and it's good for me to know that once it's upside down on the bat, I don't really have that connection to the weight of the pot or what the shape of the inside looks like, or how thin it might be on the bottom. Still this rib's I'm not ready for that rib to do this. I'll tell you something that I've been doing lately is relaxing the muscles of my face, and not just the muscles, but deeper than the muscles, the fascia, like inside the bones. This is one of the things I do when I'm trying to fall asleep. Sometimes I have a hard time falling asleep, and I'll notice that my face is like in a position. It's like it, in a smile or in a question or a frown or something, but my face is doing something. And so one of the ways I fall asleep is by deeply relaxing all the layers of my face. And I've learned that my gums kind of hang on to my teeth, like cling to my teeth, like they're afraid that if they just let go, all my teeth would fall out. So I work on relaxing the little muscles in the gums that hold on to the teeth. That's a cool thing to do. And also I work on really relaxing my face. And I also realized recently that I felt like my face could fall off, or that something really ugly could come through. It was just very interesting to notice the fear around really fully relaxing my face. Wow, that was profound. So I work a lot with the muscles of my face, and it's helpful right here at the wheel to do that too, because there's a lot of holding and patterns. That's why I like to focus on my breath, especially the exhale, because it just helps relax. We all need to relax more. Just like with Buddhism, how attachment is what brings suffering. All that attachment, you can find it in your body as gripping or as non-relaxation. Okay. I think these bowls take me longer to trim than they took me to throw. I'm not sure how long they take, but Even if you're watching the video and not live, I really welcome your comments. I'll get to them. I'll definitely comment on them, whether they're on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever you happen to be watching this. And yeah, I think I'll trim just a little bit more right here. I like them to be really light bowls. If they have any extra weight, I'm like, could be better. Okay, good enough for me. Just make sure I didn't warp anything inside. Looks good. There we go. Let's see this one. All right. Now, here, let's do that thing. So it's a nice flat bottom and it doesn't seem too thin. You can see that it's a wide bottom here too, wider than most of my bowls. Did that one a little different. It's nice to like have your way, but it's also nice to be fluid and flexible enough to discover new ways. Oh, this one I feel like a little bit thin right at that foot. See, right here. Gotta be careful. Okay. Every once in a while, too, I have to make sure that my clay is actually going into the trimming catcher. Most of the stuff that falls on the floor, I'll throw in the garbage because it just winds up getting mixed in with dog hair and unwanted schmutz, foot schmutz, shoe schmutz. Still no comments? Nobody has anything to say? Sometimes I make videos and then I watch them and I'm like, oh, that sound is terrible. Or you can't see anything. Okay. See, yeah, it's starting to get soft there. So let's just clean this up. Feel for the stuffs. Then I am going to make myself a chop, although I won't know how to use it because my pots are all so thin. I can't imagine where I'd press into. Maybe into the foot. A chop is a potter's stamp. A signature stamp. I think they're probably originally Japanese. Okay. Moving right along. I like to make feet that will be easy for me to glaze with. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So the design of the foot is connected to my glazing process, so I can hold it easily when it comes time to glaze. It's so funny, like the shape is also connected to like packing it, like so they stack really well. If you saw, I'll show you after. I like them to stack really well, both like, you know, in your kitchen cupboard, but also in my boxes for transporting pots. And there's some shapes of bowls that just, they're really nice as a bowl by itself, but just does not stack well. My rolled rim bowls are going to be like that. They're not going to stack well, but I don't care. I'm breaking out of a lot of my old resistance or my old boxes, let's say. Breaking out of my old pottery boxes. Okay, so right here, I've cut a foot that when it comes time to glaze, I can pick it up very easily by this foot. That's important to me with glazing. I can hold the bowl by the foot. Okay, let's see. I forgot to really inspect this one on the inside before I did it. Okay, gotta be careful when you let go of this thing. Like I said, it's kind of a weapon. I like this trimming tool. I use both sides of it, just kind of whatever I feel like, whichever one is drawing me. It's kind of intuitive. Kind of intuitive. Starting to get soft in there. I can feel it. It's like all of a sudden the whole foot starts to go like, yeah, yeah. Cut that foot again. The place that I usually trim through is either right up against the foot or right in the middle of the bottom. So those are the places for me to be extra careful. Okay, so yes, kind of double checking that it's a little bit soft there. Means I'm at my as thin as I want to go and no thinner, but thin enough. Checking the inside. It's kind of warped a little bit from my trimming process. And so I'll just even it out with the tool on the inside. Again, this isn't trimming, I'm more pressing the shape back into place. It does take off just the tiniest little bit. Little bonus. But I was taught to never trim the insides. So when I when I see other people doing that, I'm like, even though like why? Why not? Why not? But that's just, you know, these funny little things we have. Funny little rules we have for ourselves and others. Okay, here, I'll show you what I mean by my stacked bowls. I've got 4 more to do, and then the podcast will be over, but here they are. See how nicely they stack like that? Where will I put them? I have no idea. Well, no, I need, okay, here we go. This is good. See here, what I'm doing here is taking care of my future self because I will need places to put 4 bowls. So I'll create spaces to put 4 bowls for myself. Okay, great, perfect. Somehow my foot pedals are really behaving today. Oh, another thing I wanted to say is that my setup for trimming is totally different than my setup for throwing. I'm on a lower stool. I got my foot pedal on the ground. And I use this trimming catcher instead of the splash pan so I can reclaim the clay. Exhale. Oh, Alex. Hi. Are you in Portugal? I actually was on a bus going through New Paltz recently and was thinking of you. And gosh, it was beautiful. Such a sweet little town. Sorry, I didn't get to see you. Hi, Julia. Cold out, isn't it, Eugene? I'm guessing that you're still in the Eugene area. I'm talking to Julia here. So chilly here in the studio. And I have to turn my loud heater off to do this Facebook stuff. Otherwise, it's just like in the background. Oh, I have a studio in my garage now. I think that Irina told me that. That's so awesome. Is that, I'm thinking that that's in New York, not in Portugal. Is that right? Oh wait, never trim pottery. I hate trimming. You don't have to if you just make vertical forms. I never trim vertical forms, but bowls and plates, unless you got a special trick. If you got a special trick to not trim bowls and plates, let me know. But yeah, I actually really like it. I like all parts of pottery, even mixing glazes and everything. I just like, it's kind of part of my life philosophy is just to enjoy everything. Find something that you like in everything. Find something that I like. I won't talk to you. I won't give advice. Sometimes I do. But yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, there's definitely a zen to trimming. It's magical. It's like it's a meditation, it's presence, it's completion. It's like taking care of the pot. Let me see the weather. Oh wow, I got a bunch of interactive people here. This is amazing. I wish that my phone would just say that stuff out loud because the comments are just scrolling on by here. Something, yes, please, yes. Oh my gosh. So my phone is all taped up. So I'll have to read these comments later, but keep them coming. I'm lonely over here. Keep them coming. I'd love to see what you're making, Alex. I would love to see that. Alex, this is a different Alex. This is, remember Irina? You met Irina. Irina lives with Alex in New Paltz, at least some of the time, and you can help me read what's happening on the thing. Okay, never mind. And it's covered in tape. You'd have to look on your own phone. You want to get your phone and tell me what the people are saying? The people are speaking, Nima. The people are talking. Yes, yes. Julia, who is my child's good friend from Taekwondo. Daphne, her mom. Daphne was really great. Yeah. That, that's Alex. Yeah. 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 Amazing. Yeah. Hates trimming. I saw that part. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Exactly. They're on this trimming bat, which is made of foam. Here's my old one. So today's my first day using it. So I've been using this ratty old thing that I made many years ago with carpet underlayment, I think it's called, and it's so gross now. Ugh, I'm so glad to get rid of this thing. I'm gonna put that in the garbaggio. And now I just bought this nice thing. It's really nice. Real nice. This one doesn't need anything on the inside. Uh-huh. Vases, great. Why don't you post a picture in the comments? We want to see it, yo. Show us your wares. Bring out the wares. What do you mean? Oh, you like them? Oh, thanks. I haven't even trimmed through one yet. Knock on shelf. Well, especially because this round of bowls, like they were like some of them were really thin on the bottom, so I have to be really ginger, really careful with the bottoms. Please what? Please be careful. Okay, well you can post one on your own page and tag me. Hey, hey, and then also you can ask me for individual mentoring. I can give you some special tips. I have to charge. Neem's milkshaking in the background. Oh, Neems, you haven't seen me trim ever. Have you seen me trim? What? Oh, right. Never mind. Sorry. I forgot. One day Nima's going to be on the wheel. We're going to be watching Nima learn. Why not? Why? What you doing? Aw. Should I change my hat? Okay. Did you talk to your brother? He was worried about you. Yeah. Yeah, because he said he texted you and you didn't text back. And he said, or he called. He said, usually you say, can't talk. Exactly. That's what I said. I was like, I think he really can't talk right now. Can't talk, can't type. Do you want to do that exercise with me tonight? Process work? Elsa's exercise? This would be for you. It is for you. It's about transitions. Yeah. 20 minutes. We can do that, right? Yay. Okay. Awesome. Names? Not for kids anymore. Okay, I think we've gotten to the soft. What? It's okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, I have, yeah, of course. Uh-oh. Okay. It's actually real, right? Uh-huh. Oh yeah, he's definitely not the onion. It's like Adidas can't fire me, Skechers can't fire me. Everybody fired you, Kanye. He needs some help. He needs some help. Poor guy. He's lost. It's not just. He's like, I can be anti-Semitic and I can get away with it. Like, wow, congratulations. That's amazing. Yeah. I'll tell you guys all on my Potcast. If you happen to be from Eugene, we got a bid from one plumber to do a job from Reynolds, $1,000, and then this guy today did it. And this guy today did it for $425, and if I had cash, he would have given me $75 discount. So anyway, I won't say who that is because I basically just said that. Yeah, yeah. So I won't say that. But you can message me if you need a plumber. This guy was great. He was great. Yeah. Yeah, Aaron, I don't think he does small jobs like that. Yeah, right. Okay, thanks. Okay, let's see if there's any new comments. That was a really fun flurry of comments before. Oh, wait. Hey, Amy, please show me how you send them so quickly on the wheel. Okay, let me see if I can describe that. Well, first of all, I have this trimming bat on the wheel. And this trimming bat has magic lines. Now you can make your own trimming bat with a piece of carpet underlayment, that foamy stuff that they put underneath. We used to go to carpet stores and just dumpster dive for their extra pieces, and just get the stuff that they put underneath the carpets and cut a piece and glue it with adhesive to a bat. Yeah, it's okay. I believe so, but I'll message him if I'm not. Let's say yes for now. Okay, so you can make your own, and then if you make your own, just take a Sharpie and put it straight down, straight down, straight down on the bat to make some concentric circles. This one I bought for $10. I'm so happy you don't have to go to the carpet store, cut the stuff up, deal with the adhesive spray. Just $10. And it's like self-adhesive, and I just adhesed it onto a bat that I didn't, I have some old bats that I don't really use. So I just stuck it on an old bat, and now this is my new trimming bat. So that makes it really easy to center it because you have those lines. Now it's not the easiest thing to stick it on there perfectly at first because you got the bat's not exactly the same size as the adhesive, and then you're just trying to measure it, and anyway, it was like a bit of a task to stick it on exactly right, and it's not exactly right. There's a little wobble to the lines, but it's good enough for me. So I'll show you with the next one. And also there's a great trick where if you can see how I'm trimming, I run my hand on the pot. So actually the bowl does not need to be centered in order to trim a centered foot on it. I'm going to push it off center here. And if I have my hand going around on the pot, then I can continue to trim the pot when it's completely off center, just by having my center be the pot, not my body. So that's a great trick, is to retrain yourself to let your hand run on the pot as you trim it. Let me see here. Yes, we've gotten to thin, the maximum thinness that I want to go to. Sign it, flip it, and then when I'm done with this, next time I'll see if I can see what you're asking and if I can answer it. That seems really good to me. I'll just run this on the inside once. Okay. All right. Last one. Okay. So this is what I do. Here's what I'm doing is I'm just putting it right there in between the lines. I'm just aligning it here. And then I gently push it into center. I've seen some people tapping it. I've never figured out the tapping thing. So I just kind of run my hand on it and just gently nudge it into center. And that's how I center. Yeah, that's how I center for trimming. Did that answer whoever's question that was? Oh, Jenny's here.
Oh my God, Jenny.
More family satisfaction video watching. Jenny, you're so sweet. Love that girl. I don't think of her as a girl. She's like a creature.
She's a creature.
She's like what do I want to say? Like a miracle. Jenny's like a miracle. Humans are miracles. How does that go again? We're dreaming up a commercial where I'm kind of modeling. I kind of modeled my studio colors after Kimmy Schmidt because she's so bold and bright, and I just love her personality, and I love her boldness and brightness, and those bright colors. So I decided to paint my studio kind of like a la Kimmy Schmidt. I just wanted a lot of bright, bold colors, and then also I want to do. This might be a little too much stealing or appropriating from Kimmy Schmidt, but I want to make a commercial where I use the theme song in my own version of it, Unbreakable. And the vision, you guys will be in on it. The vision is to set up a ladder on concrete and drop a pot from the top of the ladder and film it, and hopefully it's going to hit the concrete and not break. And then that song, Unbreakable, comes in. Me singing it or somebody else singing it. Unbreakable. My pots are unbreakable. Strong as hell. Actually, this clay, seriously, it really is really strong. It's weirdly strong. It's not that it's really unbreakable. That's a little bit of a, what is it called? False advertising. But I have had pots fall from heights, and not break. Like, actually, I bet my customers could tell lots of stories about how much they've abused my pots and how they somehow withstand it. I don't know. It's like, I remember once I had to trim something off, like I had something glazed to the bottom of a plate, and I was trying to clean it up, and at first I was being really ginger with it, and then eventually I had out like a screwdriver and a hammer, and I'm like whacking at the thing, and still it wouldn't come off, and still the plate wouldn't break. It was just amazing, like, what is this? This really is stoneware, I mean, I was like, now I know where that word comes from. It's like stone when it's vitrified. Okay. Yep, nice and soft. Oh my gosh, you guys, I went 13 for 13 without breaking any of them. Ooh, this one almost went through though. You can see it. There's like a little lip there on the inside on the top. Well, here it'll be on the top. And so I'm going to go back with my rib. That's where it almost went through. So, okay. Let's see if I can just smooth that out. Oh gosh, I spoke just a hair too soon. That was like, oh. I'm gonna use my finger. Let's see. Let me get this clay out. Okay. Let's see if I can nurture that. This is called the spit technique. Saliva, magic water. There is something that some people, potters use called magic water to join things, and I'm trying to think of what's in there, like Darvan or something like that. Okay, let me see here. Do I have a sponge? I thought I had brought myself a little sponge just in case I needed it. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. The spit didn't work. That was a good first try. Now I'll just use a sponge. A little bit of water in it. Okay. That looks better. Just kind of nurturing that back together. I really don't want it to crack. So there's a good chance that this bowl will crack right there. And let's see. Sometimes I do like a little bit of weird patching of these things on the outside. I'll like stick some extra clay out there. But this looks okay. I don't think it's going to do that. I think it's just folded over a little bit from uh, being thin, but wasn't actually trimmed through. So you're going to make it, little guy. Don't worry. Okay. Another podcast. Come and go. Let's see. We often use the broken something in a different way, like our sponge tacos. I'm gonna have to read that after I get off. But thank you all for coming. Thanks for being here. Thank you for engaging. Oh, more words. Here, let's see if I can just read that. Let's see. Sorry if there's terrible noise. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Uh-oh. Okay, Jenny says, little known fact, spit and apple chewing is what properly softens sinew for hafting projectile points. Spit. Hey, Jenny, spit is magical. Okay, well, thanks for that on spit. And if you have other uses for spit, magical uses for spit, please let us know, and I will see you all next time for podcast episode 4. Probably tomorrow. Okay, bye.